Hello everyone, welcome back to my YouTube channel. I hope you're all doing great. So guys, today we'll study about the network forensic part C and about part D and E. I have already shared the notes in my WhatsApp community. So if you haven't checked that notes and if you haven't joined the WhatsApp community, you can join the WhatsApp community by scanning this QR code. Okay. So now let's begin with our lecture. So first topic is IP security architecture. So what is IP, guys? IP is Internet Protocol, which is used for the communications over Internet. Okay, so these communications should be secured so that nobody can read these conversations. So for that, IP also have some protocols and standards. Okay, so IP security architecture includes some protocols and standards. As you can see in the diagram also, that architecture includes some protocols such as ESP protocol and AH protocol, and ESP is encapsulation security payload and AH is authentication header protocol. So guys, these protocols are used to maintain the confidentiality, integrity and authentication of the data. Okay, so in this ESP protocol, it follows the encryption algorithm to maintain the confidentiality services, and AH protocol uses the authentication algorithm to maintain the integrity and authentication services. Okay, and DOI is domain of interpretation. So after that, the data can be interpreted in readable format. Okay, then key management, like how some person will like how sender and receiver will get their keys, like public key and private key. So public and private key will study in cryptography. Okay, so now let's study the definition of each. So ESP protocol is basically encapsulation security protocol and provides the confidentiality service. So it uses the two options, one with authentication and another one is without. So after that, the how information get like encrypted in the packet format. So packet format includes this table. So you can see security parameter index, sequence number, payload data, padding length, next header and authentication data. So guys, like information should be encrypted so that nobody can read it. For that, it uses this kind of features like security parameter index. Basically it identifies the connection between server and clients so that we can see that server and clients are connected to each other or not. Then sequence number basically helps us to determine that receiver is also getting the same sequence of data. Okay, then payload is basically the actual data or actual encrypted message. Then padding is the when we add some extra bit to ensure the confidentiality. Then next header basically specify the next payload or next actual data. Okay, and authentication data is optional one. Then this EESP protocol uses the algorithms, two algorithms, AES algorithm, or we can see advanced encryption standard, and DES is triple data encryption standard. Okay, so now this AH protocol is authentication header and it provides the authentication and integrity services. Okay, and it also uses the algorithms in the form of documents. So this algorithm basically contains the document describing the authentication algorithm used for AH. Then domain of interpretation, as we have already seen in the table, that this work upon the AH and ESP protocol and helps to read the information. Then authentication mechanism, this I have already explained in my previous lecture. So authentication means to identifying a person through passwords or like uh, password would like username and passwords. And then second one is cryptography authentication protocol can be used, for example, in digital signatures and certificates. Then Kerberos is basically authentication centralized authentication protocol used in Windows. Okay, then public key infrastructure. So what is this public key infrastructure? So basically guys, it contains some procedure, as we have seen in the IP infrastructure also, that it contains some procedure or protocols and standards. So like in public key infrastructure also, it contains some communication protocols and cryptography mechanisms to enable wide range of dispersed people to communicate securely. So it uses the algorithms such as symmetric and asymmetric algorithms, and for standard it uses the X.509 standard. Okay, and it is authentication, it is an ISO authentication framework. Okay, You can study this X.509 LDP directly here. Okay, so now let's move on to the next topic, that security electronic transaction. For this I have already shared the notes with you guys in WhatsApp community. Okay, so I hope you all studied that notes. So now let's check this again. So SET is basically security protocol designed to ensure the security and integrity of electronic transactions. Now guys, you just recall the process of fact examination, like how you have paid the fees. Okay, and now uh, for example, when you have opened your portal, then you can see the merchant there. Merchant is there and it will ask you for your card details, for example, such as unique number and name and last expiry date, etc. Okay, so the after that it will take you to the your payment apps, such as UPI and another Paytm and another UPI apps. Okay, so after that, after making the payments, you get the message. Secured electronic transaction. The participants are cardholder, basically the customer, issuer, the customer's financial institution, for example, the banks, and merchant, the seller, and acquirer, the merchant's financial institution. And it also have the CA certificate authority, which uses the uses the X.509 standard. Okay, we can study the more detail here. The next one is about digital signatures. So what is this digital signature, guys? So basically it can be visualized as an electronic fingerprint, so that is encrypted and identify the person's identity who actually signed it. Okay, so for example we can say that it is a mathematical scheme used to verify the authenticity and integrity of digital messages or documents. So for that, you can see the first of all, guys, you see your ATM card or any another card, and then uh, study this version, serial number, signature, and issuer validity. And here are some key points, you can study it. Then let's move on to the next topic, that is web security. So what is this web security? Web security means to protect the websites, okay, against some attacks. Okay, for that reason we have this SSL and TLS and VPN. Okay, so what is this SSL and TLS? So basically these are some layers which layers, or we can say some protocols which are helpful for the information over internet. Okay, so what is this SSL? Secure socket layer. Okay, and TLS is transport layer security, which is the successor of this SSL. Okay, so basically these are cryptography protocols that provide the secure communication over internet. Okay, so now let's see the purpose. So basically SSL is used to secure communication and TLS also have the same purpose. But like layers, SSL have two layers. SSL record protocol and second one is SSL handshake protocol. So this record protocol is responsible for encrypting the data, and handshake protocol is responsible for secure connection and authentication over the servers. Okay, then this TLS layer security. So purpose of this layer is the same as SSL, and it is also have the two layers, record protocol and handshake protocol. Okay, then it have versions, TLS 0.12, TLS 1.3, and here also you can see the difference table, like about SSL. SSL is having version 3.0, and after that TLS 1.0, 1.1 and 1.2, and then TLS 1.0, 1.1, 1.2 and 1.3. And also guys, the TLS 1.0 TLS is also known as SSL 3.1. Okay, so in SSL it uses the message authentication. Okay, then in TLS it uses the hashed messaged authentication core protocol. Okay, so you all can study this table. Okay, then next is VPN. VPN is virtual private network. Basically, it is a technology that creates a secure and encrypted connection over internet. Okay, so how it works, it basically encrypt the messages by using some algorithms. Okay, then secure the connection, and also it do the IP address masking, as we have studied the IP address masking in previous lecture, subnet and supernet masking. Okay, then type of VPN are here: remote access VPN, site to site VPN, client to site VPN. So remote access VPN means it allow the user to connect to a private network. Okay. Then site to site VPN is also known as a router to router VPN. Basically, it connects the entire network together, such as a branch office to main corporate office. Then client to site VPN. This is also known as VPN gateway. This is similar to remote access VPN, but uses a client software to connect a securely communication over private network. So guys, I hope this lecture is clear to you, and if you have any query, you can message me in my WhatsApp community. Okay, so we'll meet in our next video.